Thankfully, the little boy that is spoke on in this video has been found and is safe at home with his family. Therefore, I have obscured his face when the old crazy bullhorn lady shows his photo. You may be wondering, why did she do that? If the little boy was still missing, I would not have obscured his face, of course, but since I am releasing this video after he was found, I don't feel comfortable putting a photo of someone's child on the internet, and I feel it would be disrespectful to his family to do so. Maybe I am being a weirdo, I don't know, lol, but that's how I feel about it. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video.
Got gone, I'm a little concerned because I don't have all the faith in the world in Tennessee because of my experience with Summer Wells. So it's a valid and legitimate feeling that I have.
Your experience with Summer Wells? Why do you always have to make everything about yourself, Betty? No matter what you say, it's somehow going to lead back to you, right? It always does.
But the state of Tennessee, my bedtime reminder is on saying I need to go to bed at 9. Oh, you guys.
Betty, that is not very professional to start laughing in the middle of talking about a missing child. And I bring that up because of what you're about to say about professionalism coming up in this video.
Got me past my bedtime. So an endangered child alert has been issued on behalf of the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office for a 4-year-old Dalton Lee Ray Didnt. So it's 4 names. Dalton
4 names.
Lee Ray Didnt. D-R-I-N-N.
Yes, Didnt, Betty.
He went missing from Sandy Valley Road area in Rogersville this afternoon. If you spot him, and it says spot him, question mark. Professional, if you ask me.
See, there she goes. That's another thing that Betty has to always do when she's speaking on whatever it may be. She always has to criticize what the real professionals, how they're doing their job. I don't know if I can call Bullhorn Betty unprofessional because, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure what her profession is. I know she seems to talk a lot about looking at cases and advocating for children, but I don't see that she has any qualifications to call herself that, or a reporter, or, any one of the upteenth things that we've all heard herself claim to be. In my opinion, she looks a lot like a grifter, a tragedy pimp. So I guess if that's what her, that's what she does for a living, evidently. Yeah, I guess she's pretty professional. She acts like most of the other ones do.
But whatever. Call the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423-272-7121 or TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND, right? We're familiar with that. And again, this is the 4-year-old right here that is in need of...
Hold it still, Betty.
That is in need of our attention, in need of our advocation.
He's in need of her advocation. Betty, just because you call yourself a victim's advocate doesn't make you a victim's advocate, okay? You're giving real victims advocates, you're giving them a bad name, okay? You and all the other tragedy pimps need to quit giving yourself these titles that you haven't earned. And you also need to quit talking about, oh, I'm working on the case. This case, like you're a seasoned detective or something. You're not. You look like you're playing a freaking make-believe, for real. The way you talk like you really are making a difference in any of these cases. You're not. Well, you are making some, I guess, differences, but none of them are good. I'll just say that.
He needs to be joined with his family again. Look at that beautiful smile. So anything that we can possibly do to help aid, advocate, and get his face and name out, we definitely want to be able to do. So again, this is Dalton. I know we have a lot of people that follow us from Tennessee because of the Summer Wells case. So if you have an opportunity to see Dalton. We definitely need all hands on deck, especially since we have such a large number of people that follow us from Tennessee.
You already said that.
Our Tennessee family, can surely help in this case. Again, there's not a whole lot of information to go on. Let's see if we can, give me just a second. Let me see if I can do some just preliminary research on this, as this is just coming in to me. So this is
just coming into her, meaning a subscriber mentioned it to her. I know, she makes it sound like, oh, this just came into me, as in somebody sent it across her desk because she's an important part of anything. She's not. And by preliminary investigation, she's going to Google it, you know, just like anybody that is any civilian that is trying to find out information, you know, that's what we do. We Google things.
First, I'm laying eyes on it. So while we're here, we're going to go ahead and go through all of this together, right? Why not?
Why not? Betty's got time.
Maybe. See. Okay, so here's what we've got coming in. It says KPD.
This is what we've got coming in, meaning she Googled his name, and this is what popped up. Wow. She is such an investigator. I strive to be like her. Not.
Working deadly hit and run in downtown Knoxville.
And don't even ask me why she's so confused over this. And why she just immediately started reading about a deadly accident when she's talking about a missing child. I don't know. It seemed to boggle her brain for some reason.
I don't know how this is. This is under me searching for it, so just bear with me. I'm reading through this stuff. I don't know how this has anything to do with this boy or not, but just let me read through it because this is pulling up when I pull his name up. All northbound lanes on Henley Street and Main Street are closed due to their crash investigation. Knoxville, Tennessee, 2 cars. Let me see if there's anything in here about him. Maybe that's the reason why it popped up. And I don't see how this has anything to do with it. But
it doesn't have anything to do with it, Einstein.
I don't understand why this is even being brought up.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why this is even in here when I search under his name. But you can see it's right there. KPT work.
Okay, as any person with half a brain can see, what she is looking at there is a actual like TV station news channel. Okay, so if she would have clicked on it and she would have kept scrolling down, it would have been somewhere on that page. Okay, that is just telling you basically, you know, the main headlines or whatever for that particular day. Okay, she is so confused by that though. Has she never even Googled before? I mean,
working deadly hit and run crash.
Yeah, Betty, we see.
And see right into the thing. It says right there,
Past it, Betty.
Dalton Lee
Move on.
Ray Duran. I don't know how his name got wrong.
His name is not Duran. It's Drennan, Betty. And when you're giving the details of a missing child, things like that are important that you get it right, you know. The details do matter.
Into that, but it says something help with the patients and
Betty, move on. Come on.
So let me just keep going. And so we only have literally one real report that's out there that I can look at that's on Google.
Betty, I'm willing to bet if you would have just scrolled a little more, whatever, you probably would have found more, but you're so confused by the one article. Yeah, it's probably best you just go with what you have at the moment.
Other than that hit and run crash that has a fleeting advertisement about.
Oh, now she's going to say it's an advertisement? Oh my gosh. This woman claims to be so many things. Paralegal, advocate. If you went to school, for real, to be a paralegal, and you're this smart, you might want to like go back and complain, get a refund, I don't know, something.
about Dalton. Here's another photo of him right there. Blonde hair, as you can see. Hawkins County, Tennessee, an endangered child alert was issued for 4-year-old Dalton Drennan. He was last seen in Shady Valley Road area in Rogersville, walking away from his home on Wednesday afternoon, according to officials with Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. Drennan is 3 feet tall, 40 pounds. He's got brown hair and blonde curly hair.
He's got brown hair and blonde curly hair. Betty, again, details are important when you're talking about a missing child. Okay?
He was last seen wearing khaki shorts and a gray t-shirt with "How to Train Your Dragon" written on. He might be walking with a yellow Labrador retriever, according to victims. According to officials.
Wow.
Anyone with any information is urged to call Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423-272-7121 or TBI at 1-800. Oh, thank you.
Or TBI at 1-800. Oh, thank you. You might think that something really important, distracted her from giving the whole number to call if you spotted the missing child. No. What distracted her was a $2.99, I think it was, super sticker. Okay? Right there, that was the tragedy pimp in her coming out. She didn't probably mean to let that slip like that, but because she's all about the children, right? Right. And to her subscribers, what are you people thinking? Why would you donate money to this woman? Do you really think that she's all about the children or the victims? Do you really? Please explain to me why you would think that.
Thank you. God bless you. I can't put your knocking butts. I can't put
okay, Betty. So what?
Stuff on here because I'm streaming directly from YouTube.
Okay, tragedy pimp. We know the money.
So
I love it.
I do appreciate it. Thank you, and God bless you for that. And it's my pleasure. Like I said, I'm just kind of learning this case. It's kind of It's her pleasure. It's how she makes her money, exploiting victims. That's come on. Finding out about it right now. I think I've learned of it just a few minutes ago. And actually, I was
Yeah, Betty, we know when your subscriber told you.
Just coming on here to tell you guys hi and alive, and then this is all kind of coming out from that. So we definitely want to advocate for this young boy.
Of course you do.
Here's a couple of takeaways that I'm getting just from this one article.
Just from wait till you hear all the takeaways she's getting from one article. Because she's so brilliant. She is just so brilliant. It blows my mind. It really does.
He was last seen walking. That's a good sign.
He was last seen walking. That's a good sign. Okay, Betty.
That could be a sign of being lost. Do we know how?
Betty, obviously he's lost, or there wouldn't be an endangered missing child alert, Betty. So yeah, that's definitely a sign that he's lost.
Hawkins County is
what is it?
It's a lot of land.
Hawkins County is a lot of land. Most counties are a lot of land. That's what they're made up of, Betty. Jeez.
It's a lot of forestry areas. There's a lot of places a kid can be lost. But the great news is there are a lot of places that a kid will be found.
What? There's a lot of places that a kid can be lost, but the great news is there's a lot of places that a kid can be found. Oh my God. Wow. That should be your motto, Betty. Seriously. That was just wow.
If he's lost, he will be found.
If he's lost, he will be found. Because why? Because there's a lot of places to get lost. And the great news is there's a lot of places to be found. I can't with this woman. Let's continue.
That's the good news. So while he's in danger, they do at least have him, I'm assuming from good accord, not just from the parental witnesses, but maybe some other witnesses seen him walking to ensure that this information is accurate and correct. So we don't know. We always have to put that disclosure out there. This is what's coming from the official record. We don't know if it's true. We've been bamboozled before for good cause.
We've been bamboozled by law enforcement before for good cause. What good cause could law enforcement ever have for bamboozling us, as you call it, about the details of a missing child? Betty, seriously, can you maybe quote me an example? I mean, come on.
And definitely are happy to be bamboozled again for good cause.
Betty, are you kidding me right now? Bamboozled for good cause. We would be happy if the law enforcement bamboozled us about the details of a missing child for a good cause. Betty, you need help. You really do.
I think this is one of those things where they're bamboozling us, to be honest with you. He might be walking with a yellow Labrador, so it sounds like maybe
a Labrador, not a Labrator.
This Labrador retriever, very well may be an animal that he frequently befriended, or
an animal that he frequently befriended. Oh my gosh.
Might be his own animal.
Betty, you go overboard on trying to sound intelligent to the point where you sound stupid. That's my opinion, right?
Well, I'm not sure. So obviously a Labrador is missing, and potentially a yellow one.
Potentially a yellow one? I mean, I just read right here where they said a yellow Labrador retriever, but now it's potentially, because who knows? They might be bamboozling us for good cause. It could very well be a black Labrador for all I know. I don't know.
So that tells me that maybe he was guided into an area from the dog. If he was hanging out with the dog went this way, maybe he would have followed the dog, not paying attention, and now him and the dog are out there walks. The good news is kids don't travel too awfully far. He's 4 years old. However,
Betty, sorry, but I don't think there's any really good news when a 4-year-old is missing, or any child for that matter. The only good news is that they've been found safe. Right?
There are a lot of other things out there that we definitely know, snakes being one of them. The rough terrain. Remember, don't forget that there's bushes out there with huge thorns on them, and when you step on them, they get you dizzy. They give you.
Now she's gonna proceed to tell y'all this big story about some neighbor and all this, but here, let me tell you something about me. When I first heard her say that, I like to be thorough, right? Before I say anything. So I did my due diligence and searched for bushes with big thorns that if you step on them, you immediately get dizzy. And I couldn't find any such thing. But Betty's got the whole story to go with it and everything. I call bullshit. If anybody that is listening knows of such a bush with these thorns that she's describing, please let me know. Because I've never, ever have heard of them. Betty's got the whole story. As usual, Betty knows somebody. And if she doesn't know somebody, then chances are she herself has experienced whatever she may be explaining.
Those are out there. I've seen them myself, and I talked to one of the neighbors that was out there the day that someone went missing, and described what he saw and everything. And he was one of those people that like to be barefoot. He searches barefoot. His feet look like they're concrete. He's one of those barefoot type of people. He's a Fred Flintstone foot, right? And so he was talking about these bushes that have the thorns on them that, occasionally make him dizzy when they get up. So we know that.
Betty, you should really come back to reality. I mean, to each their own, I guess, but it's I digress.
There are those things. So those are the obvious things that can injure a child. Never minding the lakes. This is a 4-year-old child. We don't know if this child knows how to swim. There's a lot of ponds, lakes, water streams. That's very, very concerning. When a child wanders off, you'd hope that they don't wander into water or something like that.
Yes, Betty, we got it. The water.
Where they do, especially what if he's getting thirsty? What if he's tired? You've got wildlife out there as well. Wildlife is out there as well. So we definitely want to pray for his safe return. I can tell you, based on what we're hearing in the news, this does look good. Okay, you don't ever hear me come on here on the Bullhorn Betty channel and say, "Hey, this doesn't."
It's to hear how she laughed there, because even she realizes how stupid this shit she says sometimes sounds. She has to laugh at it herself because it is just so ridiculous, the things that come out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's ever a good case when a child is missing, no matter what the circumstances are.
Now, this looks great. I mean, we never hear that. But this looks like a good case. I have to be honest with you. This looks like this could be a good ending to this case. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's keep hope. And let's at least get this child's face and name out there so we can bring this child home and home safely. If you're in the Rogersville area, if you know about this Sandy...
his name isn't Sandy.
Sandy Valley Road. Maybe look in, if you live near there, maybe look into, maybe holler out. His name is, Now, I don't know if he has a nickname that he...
Why are you having such a problem saying his name, Betty? Dalton Drennan. I don't know if he has a nickname either, but I'm sure he knows that his name is Dalton.
His family calls him or not, but his name is Dalton. And I can tell you, with my experience with JJ, when they're out there and they see a friendly face,
I don't know who JJ
like
is.
They want to help. They're going to come to you. He's going to be thirsty. He's going to be hungry, and he's going to be scared. So maybe if you're out there looking for him, don't forget to call his name out. Let him know. Some people, in my opinion, they call out people's names and it can be scary.
Betty, you're scary. And I think searchers know how to call out their names, okay? But she's going to tell y'all how to do that too. Because she is like the expert on everything. In her, she's a legend in her own mind. Let's be honest.
And when you're a little boy or a little girl out there in the wilderness and you're already scared, maybe for the volunteers out there, maybe saying, "Hey, Dalton," scream out his name.
Okay,
say, "We're here to help you. We're here to take you back to mommy and daddy," or whatever it may be. Making sure that he hears that and he hears the sweetness and the kindness.
There she goes, sidetracked again. Okay, I'll just leave you with that. More brilliance once again from Bullhorn Betty.